Today we're looking at this little lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mando number 5.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel, Mando number 5. Now it's quite early today on a Friday. It's just gone 6 o'clock, but I really want to get up early and do this video today because I'm celebrating. Thanks to you, all your support, I've reached 500 subscribers. So you know what that means? It's time for a giveaway. So I've got 2 giveaways this week, which I'll announce next Friday's video, when I do the second part of this focus figure line. Today I'm looking at Power of the Force 2, the green line, which is huge. And I'll read you out some headline numbers in a minute. But for that reason, I feel what I'll do, I'll split the video down over 2 weeks. But I'll do the giveaway. I'll talk about the giveaway now, and then we'll announce the winner next Friday. So I've got 3 prizes actually. I'm going to give 2 giveaways. So the first prize will be this gorgeous special action figure set with the 501st Clone ARC Troopers in it, together with a retro Boba Fett. So that'll be prize number 1, okay? And then prize number 2 will be this Droid Factory Ahsoka set. In the series, we've got Chopper, C4R4C, Professor Hayang, and RD3. So that'll be the second prize, okay? Now, all you need to do is leave a comment, and in the chat, on the comments, just put the word Mando, M-A-N-D-O, okay? And I'll do a search on that, and I'll run it later in the week. Probably I'll do it Thursday, so you've got until Thursday to leave a comment and get a chance to win these gorgeous prizes I've got here. But I just want to take the opportunity to say, look, a massive thanks to everyone. Thanks to all the community for supporting me. To get to 500 subscribers, for me, is amazing. I started this journey in about the 1st of June, so just over 3 months ago. Really enjoyed it. It's been hard work getting up early and doing the videos, but I'm really enjoying it. And I'm just so glad you guys are enjoying it, because that's what really counts to me, is that you guys are liking the content. And I can't believe 500 of you are mad enough to subscribe. But please, anyone new to the channel, please subscribe, leave comments. I'm always listening. I will change the content as we go. But thank you. And this week, I hope you enjoy the Power of the Force 2 review. I'm just going to do the action figures first of all, and then I'll do the vehicles, I think, next week. But yeah, enjoy. So today we're going to talk about the green line, the green Power of the Force 2 line, which was launched in 1997 and ran till 1999. This followed the relative success of the Power of the Force 2 orange line, which came out in 95. But it was a huge line. We're not going to go into every variation today because it'll be a huge video, and we're just going to cover figures today because of the size of the line. But in figures alone, there were 95 different carded figures, let alone the overseas variants, the Canadian variants, America, a long picture, a foil photograph, all of those. We just can't go into all that. That'll be a whole nother video. So what I want to do today is just go into the basics of the line. So with headlines of 95 different figures, the actual action figures consist of a basic line of 33, freeze frames, there was 30 of those, flashbacks, 11, Comtech Chicks 10, in expanded universe, there were 11. So 95 figures. And again, there was loads of cinema scenes, play sets, exclusives, Princess Leia double pack line, which we'll have a quick look at, carry cases, Epic Force figures, and obviously vehicles. So let's dive into the line. So as I've already mentioned, the green Power of the Force 2 line was huge. There were 33 basic figures that were released, and here's 3 different country variations. I'm not going to go for every variation of every figure, but I'll just give you a quick overview. So we had the Canadian release. Now these were all had sort of a green, obviously green card, the gold writing. Some had foil photographs on them, but this is the Canadian variant. Obviously you've got the French conversion there, and then you've got the United States release here. Power of the Force. Again, same sort of picture, obviously just one language. The backing cards were very similar, just a different translation. So very similar backing cards on these. And then you had the European release, but this time obviously the cards are quite different, as just like the orange line in the that we went through a couple of weeks ago. So that was the main 3 card ordinary variations. On top of that, you had just the UK release, which had a long, big photograph, and there were 14 of this version released. So completely different back, so different range of figures, different style, and you also had this collectible little cutout. I guess you can get a mail away or something, but that was just a UK release. Was like that. They had a red and yellow bar on the bottom as well, yeah. So yeah, that was the basic figure line. So later in the line, towards the end, they released some flashback figures, which had, if you there's a little tab here, if you pull down there, it would give you a picture of, that's obviously R2 and Naboo from the Phantom Menace, and it would reveal another picture, which is a little bit unusual. They don't think they did this again in any of the other lines. There's Anakin, the young Anakin. Yeah, so you had the American version, then you had the sort of quad logo European release here. There are a few variants, as I said. This is the classic one where you've got, if you look at the R2-D2, you've got the lightsaber on the left, and then you've got the lightsaber on the right hand side. I'm not sure which one's more rare. This one's got a bit more speckling as well on his foot. Yeah, so it's quite intense, that speckling there on his foot there, and then here is a bit less. So there are lots of variations, just like with the orange line. The backing cards, they're different, obviously different country versions, so they are quite different. But yeah, so that's one variant you've got, is the lightsaber on a different side. I think there was one variant with a different photograph as well. I'm not sure if it's Anakin or Kenobi, but I'm sure someone will put that out in the comments. Yeah, 98 they released what was probably my favourite figure line, the Expanded Universe figures. These were absolutely fantastic. They produced 11 of these and 2 or 3 smaller ships, but I absolutely love these. These are obviously from the books, reincarnation of books, but some really freaky characters. I mean, this is Clone Emperor Palpatine from Dark Empire Comics, obviously. But look, it's a bit of a Dracula figure going on. Really cool figure. Obviously unique. In each of these, they folded out. The cardstocks were really thick, you can see on there. And they folded out to do a scene from the comic, which is really good. I mean, some fantastic figures. Probably one of my favourites was the Imperial Sentinel. What a cool figure. Brilliant. Again, with the backing card, the backing scene on the back. Yeah. Also cool, Dark Trooper. Really like this. Probably one of my favourite figures until I I got the black droid builder version, which is twice as big, but that's a really cool figure. And then here you've got one that I got graded because I just love the figure again. It's Grand Admiral Thrawn, heir to the Empire novel in the comics. This one's graded UKG 90, but a really cool figure. Yeah, really good figure. This is actually a Japanese variant again. Yeah, which I didn't know until I come on today, so that's interesting. But yeah, Takara 8-back version. It says on there. Yeah, so really cool line. I wish they'd done more, but they did. Like I said, they did 11 of those back in '98. Then in 1999, they did just 10 of these cards. They had a different backing. They had more of a starburst green backing. They did 10 of these with the Comtech chips. So those of you remember the episode 1 figures, exactly the same type of chips in these, where you could play a sound or a piece of dialogue from the character. This is Admiral Motti graded AFA 90. Cool figure because he's holding his neck as he's being choked by Darth Vader, which is really cool. Yeah, I mean, standard card again. A few of the figures you can get on the back, but obviously a Comtech picture of the Comtech reader, which came out with the episode 1 figures. But yeah, they did 10 of those. All the figures I've shown you really probably priced between £5 and £15. Not a massive lot of value in the Power of Force 2 line, apart from some of the freeze frame figures, which I'll show next. Then in '97 they launched a line of figures which had film clips inside them, freeze frames as they called them. So yeah, again in front of you here, I've got on the left and right, I've got the normal release, the American release Power of the Force, and in the middle I've got one of the grails of the Power of the Force 2 line, probably the only grail, which is Weequay. And Weequay is quite famous to be launched in very limited numbers. This is a Canadian version, which is, I don't know whether that's any rarer or not actually. It's graded CAS 85. Very difficult to get a hold of. If anyone knows what sort of value this would be, let me know, because I suspect it's probably worth £100 loose. This is graded 85, and as I said, they had the you can see there quite clearly the freeze frame. Now you could get a little book, and you could get a viewing sort of camera to view the freeze frames. They only did it with Power of the Force 2 line, the green carded line, and it was scrapped after that. So yeah, on the back there, you can see the different languages for the Canadian release, and then you've got two of the other ones I quite like. There's a double pack of Ewoks. Again, probably about 20-25 quid. Yeah, and on the back there you can quite clearly see the little album you can get to put your freeze frames in, and then there was a little white camera you could get as well for those. But there was 30 of these released in '97, and one of my other favourites was Grindon, the spy who was following Luke, etc. at Mos Eisley and Tatooine. That's graded AFA 85, that one. In terms of what I've got and what I haven't got, I've got all the line, I've got all the basic figures. As a kid, I only wanted to collect each figure, so I haven't got all the Canadian ones and all the American ones and etc. I haven't got that, but I've got one of every figure, and as I said, a few graded. So yeah, that's the figures, 95 in all. So let's have a quick look at some of the multi-packs of action figures. We'll do the vehicles and some of the bigger sets on the next video. So let's have a little look at some of the exclusives of the Power of the Force green line. We'll start with this Luke Skywalker. In 1997, they released the Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition with the extra effects. I'm sure you've all watched them. So they brought out with that at the cinema. Supposedly, they were giving out this Luke Skywalker, which has got some unique packaging graphics on it. It's got a date: Return of the Jedi Special Edition, opening day March 7th, 1997. You can see there at the bottom. It's got you a date and everything there. Yeah. So that was a limited edition. I'm not sure what the run was. They were supposedly only handed out at the cinema, but this figure now you can probably pick up for £20 or so. It's not really sought after, surprisingly. So that was a cinema release. Then in '98 you had 2 or 3 other exclusives. You had Ola and Salacious Crumb, which is a fan club exclusive, which was a cool, this is still now probably, you can only get Ola in this pack and the Dark Skies Jabba throne room, I believe. So this is quite sought after in terms of cost. So this is probably £45–50 at the moment on eBay. Cool little picture on the back. Obviously Salacious Crumbs come out in a few other versions now, but for quite a while this is quite a sought after figure and still is. Then you've got two more, a double pack here. You've got Cabby and Muftak, and that was a internet exclusive. Yeah, so again from the Cantina, quite sought after. Probably £30 to get that one now, I would suspect. But a cool little double pack. That's a really unique, cool figure in there. I love that one. And then obviously there was rumours of a new trilogy back in '98. So they actually released two sneak peek figures. One was Mace Windu. This one's graded UKG 85. Yeah, and on the back it had a bit more about about Mace Windu and a bit of a tease about the film coming out in the summer of the next year. So yeah, so quite unusual little box figure. Not worth an awful lot. These are, you can probably get one of these for about 15 quid, I suspect. And then you had another sneak peek figure, which was a Stap on a battle droid on a Stap. Again, it says sneak peek at the top. Turn it around. Sneak peek on these two figures. So again, it came out at the same time just to whet your appetite a bit, and had just a cartoony picture on the back and mentioned Mace Windu. So yeah, that was something exclusive. They also did a Bomar Monk. I'll put up a picture which I've got. They did Spirit of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is like a blue translucent figure of Kenobi. And they did some Cantina band members, which come in a little white mailer box. The first iteration of those, and we've had quite a few since. So they're the exclusives. They also produced a small run of Princess Leia figures, double packs. These weren't, I don't think, very successful. In these days, you can probably pick these up for about a tenner each. So not massively popular. Again, they came in two different card backs, American release, and then you add the Canadian multi-language, well, the French language as well on the fronts. And the difference is you've got Kenner in the corner on this one, and then on this one there's just a warning label. So yeah, I'll quickly go through these. So you had the classic Princess Leia from Star Wars with R2. Then you had the scene from the village, Ewok village. So you got her in her sort of evening attire with Wicket. And then you had the Yavin ceremony. So Luke and Princess Leia again. Interesting. I'm not sure whether these are exclusive. That coat that Luke's got on looks quite exclusive, but different actually. So again, if anyone in the comments thinks these are exclusive, some of these are exclusive figures, and let me know. I suspect they're just repacks. And they've all got a photograph of the film scene on the back, as you'd expect. And then finally, you've got the Bespin scene with her as she looked on Bespin, the Cloud City. Again, only 4 of these in the range, so 8 figures in total. Again, not that popular. Like I said, these days you can probably pick them up for about a tenner each. But yeah, nice small little line though. Here's a bit of an unusual one. They also released a, obviously they did in the main line, Luke in Stormtrooper outfit. Okay, we've all seen that one before. But in addition, they produced this. This is the Death Star, Escape from the Death Star game, which had at least one unique figure in it, which is this Luke. You can't see very well, but he's got like wet, swept back hair. And he's got a bit of some markings on his torso. What I'll do, I'll just get him out of the box, because this box has been opened. It's mint inside, and we'll have a closer look and compare the two figures. Yeah, so opening this is actually a bit cooler than I thought. As I said, I've never opened it before. It just got the tapes come away from the ends, and but inside you've got this unique Luke with the wet swept back hair on his head. You can see, and then you got Luke and a few accessories, but it's almost like its own card back in itself. It's got Escape the Death Star game on the back. Yeah, really cool. I don't think I've ever probably seen this for sale separately, these two figures, but you can see the difference between him and the Luke. A lot different, but really unique. And I really don't think this has been produced anywhere else apart from this game. This game nearly warrants its own review, really, because it's got yeah, lots of different bits inside. It's got a map and cards and stuff like that, but really cool. Let's look at the back of the packaging written quickly on the back. Yeah, well, there's the game. Yeah, pretty basic game. I don't think the characters actually play a part in the game. It's just looks like cardboard standees. But yeah, very unique figure. They also did a very small line of Power of the Force figures with commemorative coins. A bit of a throwback to the original Power of the Force line back in the 80s. They changed. There was a running change in the style of the box. It's slightly different. So on this version, the bubble goes to the top. On this version, it doesn't. Just goes to there. I think there were 7 figures in this line, and they do have quite a cool little coin inside on a stand. They're probably, I don't know, 20-25 quid these days. There are the other coins you get. So there's 6 on there, plus that's 7. Yeah, both from 1998, I believe. Yeah, the 1997 was that was 1997. So the running change was to that version there. The backs were identical. They just changed the tops of the cards. That's all they did. Yeah, so that was that. Then you had a Complete the Galaxy line. I think there was 4 of these. There was Yoda in Dagobah, and this was quite cool because it there was like a planet that opened up to reveal characters from that planet. So that was Dagobah. So quite cool. Quite a detailed little map actually. And inside a nice little plaque. And this one was Yoda, and had like a creature flying inside it, which was permanently attached. So yeah, quite a cool little thing. And then they did a Darth Vader one in his meditation chamber as well. So this would have been Death Star on the back. Like I said, I think these probably 30-40 quid now. I think there's 4 of them. I'll put the pictures up of a couple others as well in a minute. Yeah, they produced some cinema scene packs, classic scenes from the series of films. There was 10 of these produced. Most of these are probably worth between £20 and £30 now. Some a little bit more than others. Here's a classic one, Purchase of the Droids. Quite funny, they've all got their hands up. Which is quite a cool little feature of this pack. But yeah, so they started with this sort of the basic Power of the Force look from what year was this? 1997, and then there was a bit of a running change to the packaging style. They went to the Starburst in 1998. But yeah, kind of a standard sort of cinema scene 3-pack. Then you got another one here, the Cantina Showdown. Classic scene with Dr. Evazan, Ponda Baba, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then, like I said, there was 10 altogether, and then they went to a different bit of a change on the style of the packaging. They went to the Starburst. So you've got another Cantina Aliens pack. I suspect this one's probably a little bit more expensive because of obviously the Cantina coming out and people trying to get Cantina patrons. So they went to the Starburst effect here in 98. And then on the back it's a little bit different. Yeah, just mention episode 1 again, plug in the new Phantom Menace film. Yeah, and then another one of my favourites of this little line is the Skiff Guards. You had Klaatu, Barada and Nikto. Quite exclusive figures. I think these figures in here are were quite exclusive, I think. But let me know in the comments if you know. But yeah, probably my favourite one, showing the free skiff guards. I've got all of these, and then, like I said, there were about 10 of these, I believe, released. So probably some of the most sought after figures from the Power of the Force 2 line were these band member pairs. These go for quite a lot of money and have really taken off recently. This one with Max Rebo is probably going for about £90 to £100 now. Quite sought after. Huge bubble on this. Quite a unique figure. This one's got a bit of a crease, unfortunately, but yeah, these worth quite a lot of money now. So they did 3 pairs, obviously. They did Cy Snootles and Joe Yowza. Again, probably 50 quid for that one. Not so sought after as Max Rebo, but still pretty unique at the time. On the back, some of these obviously were only, so there was additional footage in the special edition release of the films, which is probably why they came out, obviously. And then finally you had Max Rebo. Sorry, you had this is Canadian again. You see, I just noticed these are different versions. You've got the American version, Canadian version on the back, on the front. So you've got Jupiter McCall and figuring Dan, I guess that is, or one of the band members on the back, and obviously the backing is completely different than the American version as well. So like I said, yeah, you could almost, every time I show anything, you could probably double it up and say, well, there's 2 or 3 versions of those. Again, that one there is probably worth £40 or so. So yeah, quite expensive figures, those. And then they did very quickly a series of Force FX figures as well, which had electronic features. This is R2D2, who would press a button, light up, and they did Ben Kenobi, Darth Vader with light up lightsabers. Again, these are probably worth about £10-15 now in the secondary market. So that gives you a bit of an overview about the figures. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the full price or the full cost to get in this line next week when I do the vehicles and the remainder of the line. But it is pretty sizable. So thanks again for the support. 500 subscribers is amazing. So thank you again. Please comment. Hope you like the giveaway. Please join in the giveaway. Remember, it's Mando, Mando, and then leave a comment and you'll be entered. And I'll see you all again next week. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mando number 5.